What's going on, guys? It's Cal here from Buffalo Sports Center. Today, I am joined in person with Jaden, an upgrade from last video. We're going to hit on some key talking points going into this wild card game against the Denver Broncos. First things first, we have to talk about Codrington. Again, we mentioned last video he might not play. Who's going to be the return man? Now it's looking like he might play, Jaden, right?
Yeah, it's looking like it. I mean, Bills practice squad call-ups today. No Micah Hyde, no KJ Hamler, no one like that. I mean, just Jalen Virgil, Kareem Jackson. So it's looking like Codrington will play.
Yeah, and that's great news for the Bills. Of course, without him, we were kind of debating maybe a Micah Hyde call up, just someone safe back there. Again, the Bills, if they win this game, they're moving on to some way harder opponents. So again, you don't want to lose this game yourself. Again, we've talked about the weather being a factor, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like it's going to be a nice, calm winter day. Not a whole lot of snow, not a whole lot of wind. Let's switch over and talk about the Broncos real quick. The Broncos did get a player back in their lineup. Jaden, do you want to expand on that one?
Yeah, so the Broncos activated running back Tyler Beatty off injured reserve. So it's looking like that'll be a nice boost for their run game tomorrow. I know we talked about Broncos run game. It's not great, but, they have Javonte Williams. They get Beatty back. So definitely something to watch for.
Yeah, 100%. And like when we previewed this Denver Broncos offense in previous videos, we said their receivers, again, Sutton, Mims. Other than that, not too much there. Their run game has been very mediocre this year. They're not a bad running team by any means, but certainly not the best. So that is a big jump and spark for their offense. Switching back to the Bills offense, it's going to be one of those games where we really don't know what's going to happen. Again, we've seen the last couple of weeks, the Bills have kind of put it in cruise control on the offense, right? Like they haven't really shown their playbook. I wonder if they're saving a second half of their playbook for this like little playoff stint here.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a very real possibility. I mean, last few weeks of the season for the Bills, you pretty much knew you were locked into the 2 seed. So, you kind of just get into some backyard football stuff, just draw it up in the huddle, don't really want to show anything. I mean, we've seen it before. Joe Brady, he can open up the playbook, he can get creative. I mean, he's getting all this head coaching attention for a good reason. So, I mean, I think now you're in the playoffs, you're going to see some more advanced play calls out of the Bills.
In the last 4 wildcard games, the first touchdown of the game has been Dawson Knox for the Bills. Every single time. If you're Dawson Knox, you're going to be having to catch the ball quite a few times this game. Hopefully he gets that first touchdown to extend that streak. Are there any last-minute storylines you'd like to bring up? Again, this is a game where most of the media sees the Bills winning this game by at least a touchdown. Right now, the spread is still lingering around 8.5, so a lot of people think the Bills are going to win this game, including me and Jaden and the entire BSC panel. Any last-minute storylines that could change that, or are you still rocking with the Bills heavy?
I mean, I still feel good about the Bills winning this one. I mean, I think I'll be interested to see how the Bills start the game. I mean, we've seen it, the last few weeks. They've been a little sluggish. I mean, as we said, they haven't been going full steam ahead, but I mean, a good start's going to be really important in this one. Sean Payton, great coach for the Broncos. I mean, if you give them, too much time to get going, you could find yourself in trouble.
Yeah, and Sean Payton is a hell of a coach against bald coaches, right? That is a certain stat there. But I agree with you. I think if the Bills can get up early, there's no way this Broncos team can match the pace of the Bills, right? We've said it in the past. The only way the Bills lose this game is if they beat themselves, which unfortunately they have done already this season. We've seen games like the game against the Rams where they just couldn't get a stop, and it's kind of mind-boggling because it's not like the Rams' offense is anything special. They went out the next week. Again, it was a rainy game, but what they put up, 14 points?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Yeah, so it was kind of a slap in the face of the Bills' defense watching that offense kind of blunder the next week after putting up 50 points on the Bills. But anyway, this defense has to step up. That's the last thing I want to talk about this video. How can the Bills' defense impact the playoff run here? Because that's going to be the true, test right now, because we know that Bills offense can put up points when they need to. We know Josh Allen's the MVP. We know Josh Allen can put up a touchdown in the dying minutes when he has to. But that's the thing. Can the defense get him stops? That's been the biggest issue in the prior years. Who do you think on this defense needs to step up their game?
Yeah, I mean, you just mentioned it against the Rams there earlier in the season. I mean, the defense was just pitiful. I mean, couldn't get a stop the entire game. I mean, I think I'm really looking at the secondary and the pass rush. I mean, Rasul Douglas, he was great last year, not so great. I mean, he was fine this year, but had some games like that Rams game where, I mean, he just kind of got picked on a little bit. Christian Benford, you're going to need him to keep playing how he has been for the most part. And then talking about the pass rush, I mean, Von Miller, Greg Rousseau, maybe get something out of AJ Epinesa. You never know what you're going to get from those guys, but I mean, it's go time. You need something.
Yeah, I 100% agree. I think we're still very heavily in favor of the Bills winning this game, but it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be a good one. Tickets around $100 for the cheapest ones, so not the most sought upon ticket in the playoffs. But if you look at the ticket prices for the next couple of weeks, kind of guessing that the Bills might play the Ravens, then the Chiefs, those are way up there in the 300s, 500s. So again, this is kind of a game that I think most Bills fans are saying, let's just get through it. Let's just win this game and move on to the more nitty gritty games. We cannot lose to the Broncos because a loss to the Broncos immediately puts the Bills kind of dynasty of the AFC East and franchise in jeopardy. This is a team that desperately needs a Super Bowl after coming up short many times in the past. But that's going to be it for now. Let me know in the comments section below what you guys think about this game. Thank you, Jaden, for joining me in person this time in this video. Leave a like on this video, subscribe, and have a good one, guys. Go Bills.
Go